Hey, what's up guys, Alex here, and welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title of the video, I'm doing a DC versus Marvel type of movie. I just wanted to talk about it. I mean, why not? So I have Rocket League on the screen, just on the video, just because I didn't know what else to put, so I just put some ranked Rocket League. Hope you guys enjoy the video background. But I guess it's kind of like a podcast for my channel, but I don't do podcasts. But if you don't know me, I make thumbnails for Jerome ASF and Beijing Canadian and some other YouTube channels as well. I edit some real life videos, I film, I do all that nonsense. But anyways, that's besides the point of the video. Marvel versus DC movies. This is not comics, this is just movies. So my first point I want to talk about is just superhero movies in general, which have always been my favorite genre of movies. I just recently purchased like 20 Blu-rays of movies that I've loved in the past. So I think my favorite growing up was definitely Spider-Man, the first series. We've got Incredible Hulk, we've got Batman, all those movies have always been like a staple in the movie industry that people would look forward to. And nowadays we've got DC movies now in their own path and Marvel movies in their own path. So I'm going to talk about DC movies first. So we've got plenty of DC movies under their name, but in comparison to Marvel, they're really not that many. A lot of them are actually animated, not like movie, like movies, like what I'm saying. So most recently we've had Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, and that could be compared to Captain America: Civil War. So I think the thing that's really struck home with me recently was that a lot of DC movies have gotten usually mediocre to bad reviews. So that's the difference in quality for Marvel movies and DC movies, was that Marvel movies recently have gotten a fantastic review. But anyways, let's go back to DC movies. So we've had Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, Man of Steel, we've got Batman Begins, all those movies, and then soon to come we've got Justice League, we've got Wonder Woman, Cyborg, we've had all those fantastic films. I mean, I love all these movies, but across the board these have all gotten mediocre to bad reviews. So we've got Man of Steel, of course, we've got Green Lantern, obviously didn't do that well. But I'm excited for the future for DC, because I think this movie was very well done, but it had a lot of flaws to it. I'm talking about Batman vs Superman, of course, and Dawn of Justice. It had a lot of potential, but it felt more like a Justice League movie, if anything. And the whole point of the movie was Batman vs Superman was very dumbed down, I should say, compared to like the Civil War action. Like there was like a little bit of fighting, and then it was on to the big fight. Which, by the way, spoilers. I'm gonna probably spoil a bunch of these movies. If you haven't watched them, you probably shouldn't watch this video. But it was on to the big fight with Doomsday. Lex Luthor. There was even some, there were some hints at Darkseid, which were actually taken out of the movie. Which I was like, they should have just kept it in if this is more like a Justice League movie of Darkseid, existing. But yeah, the whole plot of the movie was Batman was devastated that Superman just destroyed, with his, there's collateral damage with his building or something like that. My memory is pretty hazy, but anyways, it's a very similar plot to the Civil War movie, which I'm gonna segue into. The Civil War movie, which I think was a wonderful movie, very well paced. The plot of that movie was that the fact that the Avengers were not controlled, and they were taking out citizens while taking out the bad guys, so they needed to be more controlled. And Iron Man was more in favor of being controlled by, I don't know if it was the government, but some organization, which would then say, okay, you can go in and fight. And then Captain America was on the other side, which he was saying, no, I do not want them to be in control. I want to be able to fight whenever I want to. And that's what sparked the Civil War. And obviously we had mixes into the little bits and pieces that added to the flame, which was, Conjuring, which, obviously led to the big battle. We had the Winter Soldier, we had the Black Panther, we had Ant-Man, Spider-Man, all these amazing heroes, just, it was, I'm a huge geek, in that movie just, it made me so happy to see them all fight, because, it was so well done, and so well written as well. Like, the Batman vs. Superman, the difference in quality there was that the DC movie there was very segmented, so it felt like a Superman movie, then it felt like a Batman movie, then it felt like a Justice League movie. And then in terms of Civil War, the entire way through we had everybody, it wasn't segmented at all. Everybody was doing something together. There was some sort of action going on, or some sort of, some sort of plot that had to be, I'm trying to think of a word, but, for example, they were finding the Winter Soldier, finding this, finding, what the problem was, and then eventually it all climaxed together to become the end of, the Civil War. I know that was a lot of info to take in, but, I'm just nerdgasming, I think that's a word, here, because that movie was phenomenal. If you haven't watched it already, and you're still watching this, even though I said spoilers, go watch that movie. It was amazing. But now I want to talk about the point of the video, DC movies versus Marvel movies. So like I said, the difference in quality was that DC movies are very mediocre to bad, and then we have Marvel movies, which were usually really, can go from mediocre to amazing. For example, the Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice for Rotten Tomatoes percent was 27, compared to the Captain America Civil War, which is a 90%. Just think the difference between 27 and 90. That's insane. And just the lineup of movies under Marvel compared to DC is just astounding. So DC, we've got Batman, Superman, and Green Lantern, and then all their animated movies. And then, we have under Marvel, we've got Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Iron Man, Thor, Incredible Hulk, we've got Ant-Man, we've got Deadpool, we've got X-Men. I probably repeated some, but you know what I mean? Like, there's so many movies, you got Captain America, there's so many amazing films under Marvel. Well, obviously there are some films that were made under Marvel which are not the best. But, you can't have perfect quality on each one, but, most of them are really amazing, it's weird to see the difference in quality between these two studios. But obviously, let's talk about the future of these two studios and seeing how they will do, and what I think is going to do, what's going to happen. So we've got, obviously, for DC, we've got Justice League, we've got Cyborg, we've got Wonder Woman, we've got Suicide Squad, and we've got, obviously, they're definitely going to release another Batman, another Superman, and another, some sort of other DC. I'm sure they had plans for another one, but those movies all have amazing plots. Obviously, some of them are origin stories, and Suicide Squad, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, they're gonna be like introductions, but it just depends on how they shoot and how they the plots are well written, because obviously with Batman vs Superman getting a 27% and 44% on Metacritic, people have high expectations for these DC movies. For whatever reason, it's just they have to really beat them down on these DC movies. And then comparatively, we've got on the Marvel Studio side, we've got Thor Ragnarok, we've got Doctor Strange, we've got more Avengers movies coming. There's so many. The Black Panther, of course, another Black Panther movie, not another one, but Black Panther. All those movies, obviously, they are extensions to the universe that Marvel is building, and I think that's why the Marvel Studios has such a great fan base and such a great quality of movies, is that they're building all their universes and making them come together as one. So each movie is like an extension of another, or it's like an introduction to another movie that will come soon. For example, like in the end of the Incredible Hulk, you probably had, I think it was Iron Man saying like, hey, do you want to join the Avengers, something along the lines of that. I think it was Incredible Hulk, but all these movies somehow are connected in one way or another, which is really interesting to see. So, Doctor Strange, I'm not sure how that'll happen. I am generally interested how that's going to work. But, you've got Black Panther, of course, connected to Civil War. We've got, Thor, Ragnarok, how that's going to be played in part because he was in Civil War. All these movies, people are looking forward to much more, I think, than, Wonder Woman and Suicide Squad. Doctor Strange trailer was just recently dropped, and people were going nuts over, Doctor Strange. I forgot what his name was. Something Cumberbatch. He was the actor from Sherlock. But people were being like, "Oh my god, this movie looks fantastic," and Suicide Squad. Generally it wasn't that much. It wasn't very hyped. Obviously besides the fact that I forgot his name. The actor for Joker was literally acting like the Joker. There really wasn't much hype behind it. I might be wrong. I might be just living under a rock or something. But generally speaking, I think Doctor Strange and much more other Marvel movies to come are much more generally hyped than the DC movies. But anyways, besides that, I just wanted to say I'm excited for both studios. I love superhero movies no matter what. So Avengers movies, Marvel movies, all those movies I'm excited for. I think a lot more than DC movies, that's for sure, because I am a Marvel fan. And the DC movies, they definitely need some work, but they have a lot of potential, and I believe that they have what it takes to bring back the fans, because I think they've lost a lot of faith after some bad movies had been released. I think their standards are set really high, but I think DC can do it. Let me know what you guys think about what I just talked about. It's pretty much just like a podcast for 10-12 minutes. I just wanted to talk about it because I recently watched Civil War, and then I got a bunch of Blu-rays. I was watching The Winter Soldier, and now I'm gonna watch the Iron Mans again, and probably Deadpool, because I got Deadpool as well, because Deadpool was amazing. I forgot Deadpool and X-Men, they're in the Marvel Marvel universe too. That's freaking crazy. So yeah, I don't know what to expect. Just typing and stuff for some reason. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you guys enjoyed this, I guess this little talking podcast thing, and want me to talk about some other movies, or not movies, but other subjects, just let me know in the comments below. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.